Okay, y'alls. Let me set up a little something right here before I tell you exactly where you are. You are at the Solomon Project, where it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep that counts. I'm your host, Richard Burns. We're about to exit this truck stop, which is maybe 20 miles shy of Knoxville, Tennessee.
Butter.
Yeah, we're going to get up out of here. We're going to get on I-40 and switching on over to I-75. So let's start heading out. For all my peoples on Spotify, of course, you don't get the visual. In order to get the visual, you got to go on YouTube so you can look at the landscape, look at the highway conditions. Thankfully, it's not raining. I wanted to record yesterday, but with the rain and the windshield wiper going, I think it would have produced a less pleasant recording, visually at least. Right? Stock market's been going cray. It's been going cray. For all my 2%ers out there that have been paying attention to what's been going on with the stock market, I'm gonna need your help letting the 98% know that it is my belief that that movement was it was a manipulation. It was market manipulation. Yes, it was market manipulation. I'm not going to get into the specifics, but I'm convinced it was market manipulation that occurred. Let's get out of here safely first. And then we'll talk about that. I've seen how the media reported everything that was going on. The talks about the tariffs. The talks about bringing corporations back to the United States. Wow. And how the stock market was being impacted. Let's start by acknowledging the fact that economics is a social science. It's not an applied science like physics or biology. It's a social science, like psychiatry, like psychology. So human emotions and how human beings react to those emotions with regard to resources that are available is basically what economics is all about. Now, there was some fear. And now, if you look at the stock market, you would think that all the selling off that was going on was related to the fear that came from your neighbors, maybe. Well, listen. The ones that make the market move are the institutional investors. It's not the mom and pops. Institutional investors, the big boys, the hedge funds, the billionaires, the brokerages. These are the people or organizations or entities that buy and sell in such large numbers that they cause the market to move up and down, for the most part. When these institutions sell in big numbers, buy in big numbers, you don't really know why they're doing that. The latest sell-off could have been a way of corporations or these entities that I mentioned trying to send a message. They might not have been selling out of fear. They might have been selling to send a message to the administration. So their response may have had nothing to do with an emotion. It may not have. Now, I know if you watch these business programs, the CNBCs, the Bloombergs, the Fox businesses, of course, they have a job to do. They run a business. And in that business, it is important for them to get enough people watching them so that advertisers can reach out. So the larger the group that these companies can reach out to, the more advertising dollars go to them. So they know exactly how they need to headline whatever it is that they're going to present. They have an idea as to what works in terms of what captivates an audience. They know fear is an excellent approach. They know that a lot of people come up with some theories of their own. They know that a portion of their viewers are conspiracy theorists. So they know exactly what to say and how to say it to grab their attention. Hopefully they get to engage with family and friends about the very topic and encourage family and friends to also tap in and also watch, getting more viewers, making more money. That's the main goal. It doesn't matter that what's being reported is incomplete, so long as they have your attention. It's been mentioned many times here on this very channel that if you want to be a serious investor or manage your own business, you have to minimize the amount of emotions that make up your decision-making process. It has to be minimized as much as possible. while these institutions are selling off stocks, there were people that were selling out of panic. I didn't make any content. I wanted to wait till everything was all said and done, because all of this stuff that's going on right now, I know it doesn't matter whether I tell you or not. People are still going to react emotionally and follow the herd. But what's going on now is absolutely nothing new. Everything that's going on is nothing new. Myself, AJ, CJ, JB, and one new party. I'm gonna call her QS. Oh, and GR. We all decided to follow a particular game plan. Creating this game plan was not something out of this world. You didn't need a degree from Cornell, from Harvard, from Columbia, from Brown. You didn't even need a college degree. And the two things that I constantly repeat on this channel are the two things that are required for you to excel. Two things: discipline and consistency. While I'm saying it and you're hearing it, they're just words. But when it comes time to apply it, I understand how hard it is. I really do. If you were getting your statements from your 401ks while this stuff was going on, and you saw your retirement account shrink, it might have stirred you up emotionally. It might have. The question is, what did you do with those emotions? Look at this. Sorry about that. The wipers are going to have to come on. Some people got nervous and sold off. But there was this one day, there was a massive rebound. Massive rebound. And I think that part of what happened there, was that a select few were expecting that to happen when it happened. And as a result, made tons of money. If you or any of your family members or friends had gotten information and bought stocks when it was at that low point and you made tons of money, that would set off warning bells to the Securities and Exchange Commission. Warning bells. Brokers would have been put on investigation. Their customers would have been scrutinized. Yet there's a group of people that for some reason are allowed to get away with it when you and I are not allowed to get away with that. There are people that have been sentenced to up to 20 years in prison for insider trading. Just for that. Not everybody who enjoyed that bump was an insider trader. I can tell you that. I myself purchased stocks the morning of that jump, or no, the day before that jump. And I can tell you right now, sorry about that, the profits that I made over the stocks that I bought the day before that bump generated some profit for me, but that was absolute luck. Anybody who claims that they know when the actual bottom is or the actual top is of a stock price is lying. Not that it doesn't happen, but it doesn't happen consistently enough for anybody to make that claim. Day traders try, and many times they fail. Now the major key is to remain disciplined and consistent. The way my team automatically creates their consistency is by dollar cost averaging. So they transfer money over from their bank account to their investment account, all but one, on a weekly basis. And immediately when that money arrives in their investment account, stocks are purchased immediately. And it doesn't matter what price it is at that moment. When you dollar cost average, you're not concerned about what the price of the stock is every time you purchase. Because every time you purchase according to a schedule. Not a price point, but a schedule. Some weeks the price is higher than other weeks. Some weeks the price is lower than other weeks. And then you establish an average. That's why it's called dollar cost average. There are other things going on, but we can save that for another video. But for now, I want you guys to stay fresh and keep it profitable.